It is indeed a cold morning here in the Ruhr Valley of Germany, and today we're going to do a little bit of rail fanning. Myself being only an amateur rail fan, I'm probably not going to know much about what we're seeing today, but we are going to visit a railroad museum. It is in the area called Bochum, Germany, and we'll see what we can find there. There it goes, the S3 to a little station here called Dahlhausen, and it seems as though the railroad museum itself, even though it is right on the rail line, does not have a stop right at the museum. So we will be doing a little bit of walking through a standard old neighborhood. Who knows what we'll find. This whole big area has just got all kinds of highly populated towns crowded together. That is the Ruhr Valley, of course, and it's one of those things that's kind of a wonder, right? How did it get that way? How did we get all of these cities all crowded together like that, with tons and tons of rail transportation of different forms? We'll maybe get a look at a rail map later, but it's one of the places I've always wanted to visit. I see something of note here. So some little alien beings that somebody's really taken a lot of care to place right here in this standard old Ruhr neighborhood. So how did this unique situation unfold, where today we have this built-up area all crowded together in a big conglomerate? My understanding is it has a lot to do with the mines in this area, where they can dig up all kinds of stuff that can be used as raw material in industry and to fuel those early furnaces of factories, which of course created jobs and I suppose attracted a lot of people to come work in these factories that we have around here. And got some signage right by the Eisenbahn Museum, the Railroad Museum, which gives you an overview of what this place looks like, as well as a map of the industry and the mines in this area. So let us venture in, get a look at all this heavy stuff, this heavy metal. People will have to help me with my lack of railroad knowledge. But this one catches the eye. Could even put a letter in through the little slot there. We've got bars on the windows, so apparently would have been carrying some valuable goods in here. So this is the kind of stuff that I like. It's got just an amazing look to it, and apparently meant to be used both on the rails as well as on the road. So it is a track and street bus, and apparently these were built from 1953 to 1955. Can you imagine trudging around, stuff like that? And I love these old, you find like old railway benches. I mean, this probably sat in a station somewhere for 100 years or something, you know? Imagine what that bench has been through and seen as people's lives sort of intersect with it. And here we have Willy Brandt. So that was the Chancellor of West Germany. You can see all the smoking that went on back in the 60s and 70s on these trains. Whoa, and this is pretty cool. You can see Willy Brandt here. So again, he was Chancellor, late 60s, I think early 70s perhaps, and that is a guy named
Gunter Guillaume. And as it turned out, he was a spy for East Germany. So when that came out, it essentially ended the chancellorship of one Willy Brandt. And I wonder if this is, because I believe this is the chancellor's train right here that they're walking along outside of. So I wonder if this wagon right here would have been used by the West German chancellors, perhaps. And that is pretty cool. That's going to be my favorite of the whole visit right there. And that's going to do it for the train museum here in Bochum. Did I say it right? And I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. I hope that you'll come and pay a visit for yourself. It was 11 euros in 2025. And as promised, we will end this video with a look at the transportation system here in the Ruhr Valley.